I want to talk a little bit about choice and free will. Free will is about the plane that humans exist on, that is very different than any other animal. A dog doesn't get up in the morning and decides he wants to change his job. It's what it is. So when we get up every morning, we have a choice to be happy, vengeful, grateful, to take charge, to realize that what I eat, what I think, how I speak, all these things matter. And no one can change that in me. So my free will plane, it changes my destiny. It can tell me, you know what, I want to move to another town. Or I don't like the way I'm being treated at work, so I'm going to move. Or whatever it might be. We're the only creature that can do that, and that's unbelievable, because then we can become co-creators with the universe. We can decide that I'm going to invent something, and I'm going to share knowledge, and I'm going to be inspired and bring something forth, or carry on knowledge that was part of my ancestry. So all those things matter to every single person that walks the earth. So you're no different than anybody else. You can be inspired, no matter where you are, sitting in your home, to decide to change right now, that your destiny is in your hands. And I have the freedom to be different, to take charge, the freedom to decide not to smoke or not to drink, and take care of my health, and smile when people are talking to me, or be more grateful to the people in my life. Even the person at the grocery store, the gas station attendant, or people that you see on the street, that the consciousness of you is alive all the time. That's what awareness is about. And without awareness, you cannot really evolve and ascend spiritually. It can't happen. It just won't happen. So these little steps are huge steps in the spiritual journey, and allowing us to have the freedom that we never realized we had, that we can go and do and please and help humanity. That's a choice to do that. It's all about making choices and taking responsibility for the ones that we made already and the ones that we're going to make in the next moment. And realize that that's how we mold and shape our reality every day. The freedom to choose, the freedom to say, you know what, we live in a time where we really like to blame a lot of other people for our injury, for our past, what they didn't do, what they didn't listen to, what they didn't appreciate. And we live with this misery, and we know that existence, and we choose to stay there. That's a choice to stay in a little circle, because for some reason you might give you something to hold on to, instead of realizing that everything around you is possible. That's why you hear these amazing stories every once in a while out of a person from wherever in the world that has had an incredibly difficult life. And then one person in a village or in a city or in an inner city chooses to get out, become a great musician, become a fabulous dancer, to be a great humanitarian, to be a politician, to be whatever it might be, to lift themselves up. Every day you get up and you decide to lift yourself up and change your life, and that changes the world. But you have to believe first, believe that it's possible. Because you might be sitting there, well, that might be good for you, but that won't work for me. If you're a human being, you have a body, you have a mind, and you have a spirit. That part that when the spirit goes away, you suddenly become a body. You're not this living, breathing individual that's different from any other individual. You own your experiences. Even if you have many siblings, your perspective of your life is different. It's your experience. And you're a sum total of where you grew up, who brought you up, what country you live in. And that is like a soup in a melting pot that forms who we are. And then you are imbued with the individual person, soul, spirit, you might call it, that sees the world from a little bit different angle than the next person, even your siblings and your family, which you might be more just wanting to do something totally different that has nothing to do with something that has maybe been carried on for generations in your family. You don't want to be a farmer, perhaps. Maybe you want to be an artist or a dancer or a doctor, a healer, a gardener. But this little voice that speaks inside us sometimes gets ignored by this big blob of gray matter in our head that says, oh, but I can't, and finds all the reasons and supports all the reasons why we can't do something. So the little voice that says, oh, I don't want to do that. And maybe that's the trueness of our life. We tend not to follow that inspiration. So I'm calling upon you today to be inspired, to start a journey with us. As little as it might initially seem, it's going to be huge. Starting a journey of spiritual growth that will ignite change in you, in the people you meet, and in the world you are living in. So thank you for your time, and let's talk soon.